Hello guys, welcome back to PatronesMujer. I'll be sharing with you a tutorial on how to make the model you see in the picture. We'll take pen and paper to write down the materials. We'll find the pattern description in the magazine Children's Pattern number 14. Once we have the pattern tracing from the magazine, we cut all of the side lines that we'll make. These are finished pattern, which means they have 1 cm seams, hems, and cut with notches and red lines. Firstly, look at the pattern line and place all the pattern according to the line and how to use the fabric. In this case, on the main fabric, we are going to cut parallel to the selvage of the fabric. So this is the front skirt and the back skirt. We cut in total 4 pieces on full edge. This is the back. We place on full edge and we cut 1 piece. This is the front, and insert the pins around and we cut 2 pieces in mirror. This is the sleeve and we cut 2 pieces in mirror. This is the bottom tape and we cut 2 pieces in mirror. The cuff and we cut 2 pieces in mirror. This is the bow. We cut first 1 piece in full edge and then we cut again the same piece. In total we have 2 pieces. We have the neckline and we have the neckband, and each one has a full edge and we cut 1 piece. We cut the same pieces again on full edge, so in total we have 2 pieces for each one. This is the ruffle piece and we cut 2 pieces in mirror. Continue with the lining. This is the back and we cut 1 on full edge. This is the front and we cut 2 pieces in mirror. Before taking off the fabric, please look at the K-pattern markings, the lines you find in the pattern, the notches, the center back, and snip them. We continue with the visible fabric. This is the neckline and the neckband, and we cut 1 piece on full edge for each one. This is the bottom tape and we cut 2 pieces in mirror. So we have the front. These are the fronts and we overlock the sides and the shoulders, bows, are the sleeves. These are the skirts, the cuffs, and the button tapes, and we fuse them. And the lining, the front, the back, and the piping. These are the pieces from the front. We overlock the outside part, and we pass a stitch on the center front and around the neckline, and then we pass another stitch parallel to the stitch that we have made, and then we pull the thread from the spool for get together. These are the pieces from the front. We take the pieces and we place on top, and we pin it. You have to spread together around the neckline and the center front, and then we pin on the shoulders and the sides. This is the lining, this is the back, and these are the front. We face the rights of the fabric and we pin it on the sides and the shoulders. We start sewing the ruffle piece. You place the piece from the notch and spread together to all along of the neckline and the center front. We close the sides. We close the shoulders. Close the other side. We continue with the lining. We face the rights of the front and the back, and we close on the sides and the shoulders. We take the lining and we place inside of the main body, but in this case we are going to leave the lining, the back, inside. So you have to match the shoulders, the center front, and around the neckline, and the other side, the shoulders, the center back, and the sides of the bottom part. And around the armhole. Then we're going to place the button tape. We pass a stitch around, all around, with the lining, You start from the center from and continue to all along. We continue with the hem. Continue with the other center from. Around the neckline, and remember to match the shoulders and the center back. And we pass a stitch around the armhole. Remember to match the notches, the sides and the shoulder. Continue with the bottom tape. We face the rights of the lining with the bottom tape. Remember, because we leave the lining for the right side. And cut the excess of the fabric along of the bottom tape. We fold the bottom tape and we start a stitch on the edge of the bottom tape. We start from the top to the bottom. It's important to press with the iron this piece in half and the centimeter inside for place the bottom tape, and we pass another stitch on the other edge of the bottom tape. Start the necklines. We take the piping and we start pinning on the edge of the around the neckline. After that, we're going to place the other piece of the neckline and we're going to close all around. We start passing a stitch around, all around of the neckline. Snip the curves. Now we take the other piece of the neckline and we place on top. We face the rights and we place on top and we start passing a stitch all around except from the bottom part. Cut the excess of the fabric around the neckline. This is the neckband. And with the help of the pattern, we place the pattern and we make a mark all around on the curves. fold and snip on the notch. Now we take the neckline and we place on top and we pin it on the notch, on the center back and on the other notch. And we place the other piece on top. On the machine we start sewing from the piping, from the notch, and continue along of the neckband until the other notch. We take the other piece of the neckband and face the right and pass a stitch along of the piece. Cut the excess of the fabric around the neckband. We take the neckband and we match the center front, the shoulders, the center back, and the other side. We are going to close the neckband. This is the sleeve. We fold the ouverture in half and then again in half, and we're going to pass a stitch around of the ouverture. Then we fold from the notch to the notch and we're going to pass a stitch on it, and then we're going to close the sleeve on the side. This is the cuff. We're going to close by the sides, and then we're going to place around of the cuff of the sleeve. This is the neckband. We start sewing from the center front and continue along of the neckline. You have to match the shoulders and the center back. cut the excess of the fabric along the neckline. Snip the curves. Fold the centimeter inside of the neckline, and we start sewing from the center back and continue to the center front. And continue passing a stitch all around of the neckband. And finish at the center back. This is the sleeve. This is the aperture of the sleeve, and we fold in half. We pass a stitch along of the aperture. We fold, and then we pass a stitch like making a little dart. Fold there from the notch to the notch, and we pass a stitch on it. Right of the sleeve, and we start sewing from the top to the bottom, and then we overlock the seams. Cuff, we face the rights of the fabric and we sew them on the sides. Then we cut the corners. Turn out the piece, and with the help of the scissors pull the corners and press with the iron. We start placing the cuff around the cuff of the sleeve. So face the right of the cuff and the back of the sleeve, and we sew them along of the cuff. Cut the excess of the fabric along of the cuff. Then we fold the cuff and lift the centimeter inside and pass a stitch along of the cuff. And pass a stitch also all around of the cuff. Then we pass a stitch on the head of the sleeve from the notch to the notch and pull the thread from the spool, forget a little bit gather for place the sleeve. Now we match the shoulders and you have to match the notches and the sides. This is the skirts, so we face the right of the skirt and we pin it on the sides. Then we're going to make the hem. We place the slip. We start sewing from the side and continue all around. Remember to match the notches and the sides. Skirt. We face the rest of the skirt and we sew them on the sides. Close the other side and then we overlock the seams. The top part of the skirt, and we're going to make a gather all around, so we pass a stitch all around of the skirt and then we pass another stitch parallel to the stitch that we have made and then we pull the thread from the spool, forget the gather. Face the right of the skirt and the top part of the dress and we match the sides and pin it all around. This is the center front and spread the gather around the waist. We pass a stitch on the bottom tape and we start sewing the skirt with the top part of the dress, and remember to leave the gather facing up because we don't want to get the foot entangled. Also, when you have done this part, overlock all around of the waist. Remember to match the sides and the center back. This is the hem, And remember, before to start sewing, press with the iron all around of the hem, and then we pass a stitch on the edge of the hem all around. Now we're going to make the bow. We face the right of the bow and we start pinning it all around. We start sewing all along of the piece. And continue sewing all around, but you have to leave a space without sewing because we need to turn out the piece from the gap. Cut the excess of the fabric around of the bow and cut the corners. Turn out the piece. Then press with the iron. Now we pass a stitch around on the edge of the bow. And this is how our finished dress looks. We place the button on the front. Also we place the button on the cuffs. We press with the iron the hem, and this is the back. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you smash that thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more tutorials. And remember, the account is at PatronesMujer, and as always, thank you guys for watching the video.